It feels like every few years, a new piece of tech pops up and suddenly the headlines are all screaming the same thing. The real estate agent is dead. Seriously. First it was the internet itself, then Zillow came along, then iBuyers, and now the latest supposed grim reaper on the scene is AI. So let's really get into this, because this story is way more interesting than just another robots are taking our jobs cliché. I mean, this is the big question, right? It's buzzing all over social media. Are you going to hand over what is probably the biggest financial decision of your entire life to an algorithm? It's a pretty wild thought, and believe me, it is getting a ton of attention. And look, this isn't some quiet whisper in the background. This claim is being made loud and clear, especially on places like X. People aren't just saying these tools are helpful assistants. Oh no. They're calling them agent assassins, designed to completely take over the whole home buying game.
All right, so let's actually take this argument seriously for a minute. What's the real case for a future where you buy a home straight from a piece of software? With no human agent anywhere in sight.
Okay, so the core argument basically goes like this. First, you get AI to sort through the mountains of complicated paperwork and legal stuff. Then, these new digital platforms connect buyers and sellers directly, completely cutting out the middleman. And the final step, you, the buyer, transact directly with the software. In that world, the human agent just becomes an expensive and totally unnecessary relic of the past.
But is this all just theory? Is there any hard evidence that this can actually work? Well, let's take a look at what some of these platforms are doing right now, because honestly, the numbers are pretty staggering.
And here is where it gets really crazy. According to one source, a platform called Opendoor can get a home purchase done and dusted in just 12 minutes. Let that sink in. 12 minutes. When you think about the traditional process, which can take weeks, sometimes months of back and forth, well, you start to see why the argument for tech is so incredibly powerful.
But here's the thing. For anyone who's been around the real estate industry for a while, this all sounds incredibly familiar. This feeling that some new technology is about to make you obsolete, it's not new at all. It's practically a tradition.
I mean, this timeline really says it all, doesn't it? Back in the 90s, the internet was supposed to be the agent killer. Then in 2006, it was Zillow. A decade later, it was iBuyers that were the big bad wolf. And today, it's AI's turn. Every single time, the headlines predicted the end of the agent. And yet, they're still here.
So, why is that? How has the real estate agent managed to survive all these supposed killers? Well, the counter-argument all boils down to one simple, powerful idea: the irreplaceable human touch. This quote from Hobie Hanna just hits the nail on the head. Buying a home isn't like ordering a pizza or a book on Amazon. For most people, it is the single biggest financial move they will ever make. And it is loaded with complexity, stress, and a ton of emotion. The whole argument is that a piece of software simply can't navigate that.
And we're not just talking about feelings here. Think about the real-world stuff that happens. A good agent can decipher the ridiculous fine print on a home warranty. They can read the subtle cues from buyers at an open house. They can spot hidden red flags like a tiny water stain that hints at a massive plumbing problem. And when things go completely off the rails, and they do, you need a human to manage that chaos.
So, where does that leave us? On one hand, you've got this incredibly strong case for tech making everything faster and cheaper. And on the other, you have an equally strong case for the human element being absolutely essential. The reality, as it usually is somewhere in the middle.
According to industry insiders like Blake O'Shaughnessy, change isn't just coming, it's long overdue. The general thinking is that tech and AI won't just wipe out the entire profession, but they will absolutely replace some agents. And specifically, the casual, part-time agents, the ones not providing top-level value, are in real trouble.
This really shows you the split that's coming. On one side, you'll have the agents who fall behind, the lower performers, the less tech-savvy. But on the other side, you'll have the clear winners, the high-performing pros who embrace these new tools. They'll use AI to do market analysis in seconds, to automate all the tedious paperwork, and to even predict neighborhood trends. And that frees them up to focus on what software can't do. Negotiate like a shark, give you brilliant strategic advice, and be that calm, expert guide through a really stressful process.
So the real takeaway here isn't replacement, it's evolution. AI isn't an asteroid coming to wipe out all the agents. It's more like a massive environmental shift. It forces the whole profession to get smarter, faster, and more efficient. It creates a new kind of super agent who combines their deep human expertise with the raw power of technology. The job is no longer just about having access to listings, It's about being a high-level advisor and a crisis manager.
And look, at the end of the day, if you're ever in doubt about the value of a great human agent, just remember how chaotic the real world can be. The financing falls through at the last second, a pipe bursts the day before closing, or maybe you're dealing with an exploding toilet. Yeah, let's see ChatGPT handle that one.